Look at the highway during rush hour. Now imagine that, but on fire. 2 million people, 3 main exits. Do the math. In a true emergency, whether it's a grid collapse, a biological event, or a simple evacuation order, your SUV isn't a vehicle. It is a cage. And the interstate isn't a road. It is a parking lot for corpses. Most survival guides tell you what to pack. They forget to tell you how to leave. Today, we are deleting the highway from your brain. I am going to show you the invisible city. The 5 hidden arteries that use physics, geography, and industrial infrastructure to bypass the herd. You have a plan, don't you? I'll just drive to Grandma's cabin. No, you won't. Because everyone else has that plan. I'm offering you a different plan. If you want to be a statistic, click away. If you want to survive, take notes. Let's start with the math of why you are going to die on the interstate. We call it induced demand. When the panic hits, let's say a cyber attack takes down the power grid, everyone pulls out their phone. Google Maps and Waze are programmed to route traffic to the fastest main roads. The algorithm doesn't know the world is ending, it just sees traffic. It routes everyone to the same shortcuts. The side streets clog, the back roads clog, the gridlocks self-replicate. This creates what we call the golden hour. But in a modern megacity, it's more like the golden 20 minutes. From the moment the first siren wails, you have a tiny window where kinetic movement is possible. Once that window closes, the exponential decay of your escape chances hits the floor. At that point, your vehicle is a glass box. You're sitting in a controlled environment surrounded by thousands of terrified people who didn't pack water. So, if you are sitting in a stopped car with supplies visible in the back seat, you're just a loot drop for the first person willing to break your window. So, rule number 1, the engine is a liability. To survive, we need routes that a Honda Civic cannot physically enter. We need to go where the tires can't follow. Route number 1, the Iron River. Cities are built to serve industry, and industry needs trains. These tracks cut straight through the densest urban centers, bypassing every intersection, every traffic light, and every hysterical mob. Why is this an S-tier route? Simple. Gradient. Trains cannot climb steep hills. Physics dictates a grade of less than 2%. If you are rucking with 50 pounds of gear, this is the most calorie-efficient path you can take. You're saving energy while everyone else is burning it, screaming at their windshields. But here's the reality check nobody tells you. Walking on railroad ties is biomechanical torture. The spacing is wrong for the human stride. You either mince step or overstride. And the ballast, those sharp rocks between the ties, they will shred your sneakers in 3 miles. You need boots with a shank, a stiff sole, and a warning on acoustics. Modern electric trains are quieter than you think. The Doppler effect means you won't hear it coming until it's right on top of you. Walk on the gravel shoulder, not the rails. Stay off the X. Route number 2, the voltage road. Open Google Satellite View. Look for the scars. You see those long, straight green strips cutting through the suburbs and the forest? Those are high voltage easements. The government mandates that the land beneath these towers be kept clear of trees for maintenance. It is a 100-foot wide highway of grass and scrub that runs for hundreds of miles, usually straight out of the danger zone. If you have a mountain bike or a dirt bike, this is your private autobahn. While the highway is a parking lot, you're doing 15 miles per hour on a maintenance trail. But Bear, I hear you whining, what about the radiation? Want to EMF fry my brain? Let's look at the physics. Yes, high voltage lines emit an electromagnetic field, but thanks to the inverse square law, the intensity drops off massively with distance. Being 50 feet below the line is safe for transit.
I'd rather risk a statistical increase in cancer risk 20 years from now than a 100% chance of being mugged on the off-ramp today. Plus, you can't get lost. The towers are numbered. They are giant steel compasses pointing you to safety. By the way, if you value this kind of unfiltered survival intel, make sure you are subscribed. Most people won't make it past the first week. Let's make sure you aren't most people. Route number 3, the Blue Highway. Most major cities are built on water. Look at the image. Above, chaos, fire, gridlock. Below, silence. With a pack raft or an inflatable kayak, you can move thousands of pounds of gear with zero friction. Archimedes' principle is your best friend here. The water carries the weight, not your back. You can drift silently at night, completely invisible to the looters on the bridges. But nature always demands a price. The price here is hypothermia. Water draws heat from the body 25 times faster than air. If you capsize in 50-degree water, you aren't escaping, you're dying. The cold shock response will cause you to inhale water instantly. This is a high-skill route. If you don't have a dry suit or a change of clothes, stay on the bike. And please, go downstream. Let the gravity do the work. Don't fight the river. Route number 4, the linear parks. Bike paths, rail to trails. The hero of this route is this simple concrete post, the bollard. It acts as a filter. It filters out the SUVs, the trucks, and the panic, but it lets the prepared individual pass through. Speed is life here. These paths are narrow. Use them for the first 10 miles, then get off. And finally, route number 5, the sewer. Do not do this. Hollywood lied to you. It is a tomb. Let's talk about chemistry. Hydrogen sulfide, methane. These gases are heavier than air. They pool in the bottom of tunnels. At lethal concentrations, hydrogen sulfide paralyzes your olfactory nerves. You won't smell rotten eggs. You will smell nothing. Then you will drop dead. Stay above ground. Stay in the light. Now, what if you miss the window? What if the gridlock is already solid and the streets are already burning? Do you run out at noon? No, you wait. We call this the vampire rule. Human aggression correlates directly with core body temperature and sunlight. Statistics from civil unrest events show that violence peaks at 6 p.m. and crashes at 3 a.m. If you're stuck in the city, you hide during the day. You become a statue. You move only between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. You trade visibility for invisibility. The city at 3 a.m. is a ghost town. That is your highway. So, when do you switch? This is one of the sunk cost fallacy kills people. You paid $50,000 for your truck. Your brain tells you not to abandon it. But a truck that isn't moving isn't an asset. It's a coffin. You drive until the wheels stop, but the second the gridlock becomes permanent, you must pivot. Pop the trunk, grab the folding bike, maps, and most importantly, bolt cutters. Because the entrance to the invisible route might be locked. You have to be willing to break the rules to survive. Before you go, a word of warning. There is a fine line between a survivor and a criminal. That line is called context. These protocols are for a total collapse scenario. I'm talking about a grid-down, rule of law failure event. Do not be the idiot who cuts a fence or trespasses on federal railroad property just because your Wi-Fi went out for 10 minutes. Situational awareness isn't just about knowing how to act, it's about knowing when to act. Panic is the enemy. Knowledge is weightless. You can carry this plan in your head without breaking a single law until the day comes when the laws no longer exist. It all comes down to normalcy bias. Your neighbors will stand on their porch waiting for the government to fix it. They're waiting for permission to leave. You cannot wait for permission. You just need to be ready. Here's your homework. Tonight, turn off the TV, open Google Earth. Find your house, Find the nearest power line cut, find the tracks, trace the line until it hits the trees. Memorize it. Because when the lights go out, that mental map is the only thing separating a survivor from a statistic. Don't be inventory. Be invisible. It's your move.